Why, hello there, and Tail here. I hope this video finds you well, and I thank you very, very much for tuning in today. I'm bringing you a full review of this budget model, but before that, let's get the standard YouTube stuff out of the way. If you like what you see, or if you want to see more, consider liking and subscribing. I'd greatly appreciate it. It would help the channel, and as always, feel free to leave in the comments any information that you want. If I get something wrong, I'm a human, and possibly a potato. That's entirely possible. Let me know. Or if there's anything I can improve on, or any models you want to see, or anything like that. Again, any possible thing you can think of, I am more than happy to get feedback. Either way, this is a Klaken knife. Yes, Klaken, not Kraken, even though it looks like it should be Kraken. It's not. It is CL. You can see it right there. And this is a budget knife, a very budget knife, in fact. This is a $30 knife. I'll just get that out of the way. This is a $30 budget knife, and honestly, kind of punches above its class. This is the full review. The specs and everything will be time-stamped down below in the description if you care to skip around. And of course, you wanted to skip over my intro. I probably should have said the timestamps are down there before that, because now you're stuck listening to that. Possibly, maybe not. Who knows? Maybe you already know my channel well enough to know the timestamps are down there on a full review. They always are. I will also link this down in the description and such. Use my links for the most part. Most of them do help the channel a little bit. Either way, budget knife. Very budget knife. And I have to say I've been quite pleasantly surprised with this and the other Klaken knife. I'm probably going to get a couple other knives from their line. They do have a decently growing line of budget knives. They're simple, they're straightforward, but I don't know why I'm moving this. I haven't even measured it, but let's just get into the specs so I can stop rambling right now. You know what? We're going to do this way. We're going to measure it this way today. Handle, 4.5 inches. Overall, just a hair over 8 inches. And the blade is about just a hair over 3.5 inches. The reason I've got it out like this, in case you didn't know, is the old comparisons. This is the full-size Civivi Conspirator, and where is the other one? Ah, there it is. The small Civivi Elementum. Let's center that out so you can get a general idea. Of course, my phone here is on a slight angle, so it's not going to be perfect to your eyes. Or I should say, it might look a little bit awkward. If I look through the camera, it looks like this might actually be a little bit longer. In fact, actually, yes, no, it is a little bit longer. But it's probably mostly the handle, as this has technically just a tiny hint more blade. But less handle. It is a full-size knife, absolutely. A bit thin, though. Not a whole lot of presence, which is something that I like occasionally. It tends to give the knife a little bit more of a nimble feel here, and even though this one does have some thickness to back it up, it does have that, with just this sort of thin handle. Not narrow, but certainly not tall. Let's get to hardware. Actually, thank you for reminding me. Oh, my own equipment is helping me today. Before I move on, the grip length comparison. How much can you actually hold on to this knife? And you have just shy of 2 AA batteries, as you can see. I wouldn't call that there, but it's just shy of 2 AA batteries, which, I mean, unless you have really big hands, you'll probably be able to get your 4 fingers, even if you have to sort of scooch in there with really gigantic mitts and hold on to around there. I mean, yeah, you'll get your hands on there. Probably no problem. The thing that actually helped me was the magnet in my Weehaw bit driver here, or the magnet in the bit itself, or wait, no. Yes, the bit itself. Okay. T8, everything else is T6. I would like to see T8 all the way around. I'm not going to complain at this budget territory. Yes, because it is as low of a budget territory as it is, I would say that there is an increased likelihood that you come across a kind of stripped out or crappy T6. I mean, when it's more expensive, it does seem to happen less. However, these are tooled pretty deeply and feel actually really good for T6s. I'm pretty confident that these T6s will... Is this a T6 too? Yes. Okay. I'm pretty confident that these ones will actually hold up decently, which, again, on a knife this inexpensive, it's certainly not a bad thing. 100% good work there. I'm going to call it where I see it. And there's some good, and there's some bad. Really only two things, though. 3.93 ounces, so about 4 ounces, not an ounce an inch or anything like that, but I mean not unreasonably heavy by any means. Where are the calipers? They are here. Let's see if they actually... Oh, they're zeroed out. That's not a good sign. Something's coming. 534 thousandths, so just over half an inch with the clip at its highest. I think that's about right here. 700 thousandths? Not too bad, not too bad. Blade stock, 120, probably going for about 125. And behind the edge, pretty small bevel on here. Come on. 15 thousandths, approximately? I'm going to call 15. I think I went a little bit too high, but that's a pretty good edge. That comes down to a pretty decent edge, especially because it doesn't have a lot of room to drop here. It does feel like it gets thick. It might taper a little bit up towards the tip and towards the back. Like, you're going to definitely probably have the thinnest in this area. But it gets down to a pretty darn thin edge, and it's quite nice. No complaints there. It definitely cut. They weren't... Oh no, this one is... The other one, it wasn't the sharpest thing, but this one actually had a really pretty solid edge on it out of the box. I mean, it's not like I'm going to accidentally scary sharp cut myself on it, but it does have a good edge, and it did perform pretty well, and it held it decently. So, not really complaining there. I believe that is the end of our specs, so let's move on to just talking about this thing. 14C28N blade steel, at least that's what they say. This is a small new brand. I mean, you never know nowadays, but I'm inclined to think that it's probably 14C28N. They do seem to be putting out a number of knives and trying to put out legitimate knives, so got a stonewash here, which is a decent looking stonewash. Nothing fancy, but... And it's a little subject to fingerprints, but it's pretty good, honestly. Sort of a slight... I mean, it's a clip point with a slight trail to it, but it's not actually trailing, so it's not high enough that you can't use it. It's definitely very usable blade shape. A little bit of belly out here, nice straight bit here. The logo's there and there. I don't really care about them on a knife of this price point. Would that be nice up there? Sure, but or even there on the pivot would be kind of a nice touch, and just leaving the blade, but that's fine. The one issue, the first issue I should say that I mentioned, there is issues. However, it's not the biggest thing, is the plunge grinds on these Klaken knives. It's both of them, in fact. Kind of bad. The plunge is like here. It sort of ends. I mean, it looks, if you just looked at it up there, you'd say, oh my god, it's dropping down straight there. No, it does seem to drop down and then sort of skirt off a little bit. But it still hits like here. In like real life, I can see it. You might not be able to see it as well through the camera. So it's not quite there, but it does skirt off. It's still probably right before the actual edge termination, which is not exactly where you want that to be. However, the stop pin, this is a flipper tab knife, and the stop pin is safely away from there, so you can definitely expand that sharpening choil out to about there, and you'll definitely be good. You won't get a smile. I would say take it to there just to be safe. But, not ideal. Again, however, $30 knife. It sort of, counteracts all evils to some extent, I think. As long as it functions as a knife and it functions and holds it together, you're counteracting some of it. The jimping's not great. It doesn't really do much or anything, really. However, I mean, the handle gives you more than enough leverage to put it into a solid grip, so it's not really like, oh no, failed jimping. It has two methods of deployment. Your thumb studs, which, let's just take a moment. These are actually really good thumb studs. They're small thumb studs, but they're placed in a way that Even though there's not like a secondary chamfer, like hard chamfer down to them, which a lot of knives have. Let's see if I can find one, because of course I probably won't. Actually, you know what? No, the conspirator here. As you can see, there's a secondary hard chamfer that gives access to, I mean, it doesn't need it on this one, but gives access to that. This doesn't even have that. It just has your basic edge chamfer, and that is more than enough because of where they're placed to pretty darn easily and successfully interface with this blade. Even on the reverse flick. I mean, that doesn't look like a lot, but because they placed it at the right spot, it just works. So, good on that. It could have definitely been worse, and it also is more or less, except the very edge, kept out of the cutting path, which, I mean, you're probably going to want to expand the choil up to that anyway, so it's pretty much out of the cutting path. It is also a flipper tab. A little bit tall, but, I mean, pretty narrow, small flipper, but very good leverage, very comfortable to interface with, and it is on bearings, obviously. As you can see, it's got actually really, really good, like, light shake-shut dropping action, which is pretty solid, especially considering, I mean, it's not like super expensive bearings, but it's not bad. It's pretty darn smooth, and that's some pretty solid action. Very nice there. It is a liner lock. Full steel liners. There is some weight reduction in there. You can see it on, yeah, there is actually some on both sides. The liner lock has more than enough access to get at very comfortably. Nice softened there, and it's not so softened that it's like it pushes you and forces you at an angle. You can pretty much come at it from a complete diagonal. It is a little bit maybe more comfortable just to slightly rotate your finger into it, but you can definitely get it coming at it from straight from the side. So good lock bar access, just enough cut back, executed well. The liners are not sharp or anything like that, and honestly, you really can't even get at the lock bar cut itself. And even that's relatively smooth. I mean, I've had much more expensive knives have very sharp lock bar cuts. Or relief cuts. Or no, that's not a relief cut. That's a relief cut. Just the cut for the lock bar, I guess, yeah. So good job there. G10 here. We got some nice texturing on there. You've got a flat, a big wide chamfer, and then back to the flat. It definitely works to help make things pretty darn comfortable in hand. The G10 is not the most amazing G10. Like, it's just G10. Its finishing is just so-so. As you can see, there's like a little bit of, what should I describe that as? It's not quite as perfectly dark. It's got like a little bit of grayness to it. And right up there, it just hasn't been finished quite the same. Is there a problem here? Not at all. It just doesn't feel like, you know, a knife that you're going to get for $100 that with G10 is probably going to be a little bit better, perfectly executed G10, but this is more than adequate, honestly. No problems. I just bring it up because you can see it, right? There's a little bit of a color differential there, so it's just maybe not perfectly executed. But it's good. Backspacer, lanyard post, also looks to be G10. Yeah. Now, the pocket clip. The pocket clip is the other kind of missed mark here. The screw up. I mean, as you can see, first of all, it gets noticeably tighter as it goes down, and then they've got button screws down here. I bring back the... Where does that keep going? It keeps running away every time I put it down. I bring back the conspirator for what screws... Wow, you're dusty. I know I haven't been carrying you, but Jesus. I've been using this thing as my comparison knife, and it's apparently starting to show. But, flat screws. See how they stick up? Yeah, that allows just for generally better access underneath the clip, so your pants don't get caught up and everything like this. However, as you can also see, as I pointed out, this one gets really narrow there. Like, it slopes down pretty hard. Which kind of makes this about as deep as it's going to realistically get in your pocket, even if the screws were flat. unless you had really thin material, like, it's probably not going to go too much past this K, honestly. So, if you look at it that way, if it was never meant to do that, then it's sort of a medium depth carry, and it's fine. However, they did use a deep carry pocket clip, so ideally you'd be able to carry it a little deeper, but probably not going to happen with or without the flat screws, based on just the size of this and the height. It is not reversible, so no left-handed friendliness, but oh well. I mean, I'm sorry, left-handed people. I'm sure you get screwed out enough knives, but I can't do anything about that. I'm sorry. So, I think that's really everything to say here. This is a good $30 knife. Absolutely a good $30 knife. I mean, I've had some bad $30 knives. Oh god, I thought it was done. It's back. Go away. That was actually a little bit more expensive than this. These Klaken knives often have like coupons if you get them on Amazon. That's where I found them to be like the easiest way to get them. They like one of them has a coupon where it's normally like $24 and it's $20 right now. This thing might have a coupon to be under $30. I mean, this beats the crap out of that every day of the week. It's comfortable in the hand. Nice grip position. Really, I mean, possibly because it has that sloping down pocket clip, it's arguably even more comfortable, so maybe it's intentional. Let's just give them the benefit of the doubt. Either way, fix your plunge grind. Figure out what you're doing exactly with the pocket clip. However, this thing is absolutely still recommendable in the current shape. So, I'm going to end the review here and say thank you very, very much for watching. Consider checking this knife out, and I'm sure other stuff on the channel are going to be popping up or have popped up or whatever. If you want to check out other content I have a lot of videos, old videos now. I mean, I've been doing this, just shy of 2 years? And I still haven't hit 1,000. I don't know what the heck's going on there. I must be doing something wrong. But either way, there's certainly something else for you to check out. And this knife might be worth it, too. So, I'm done. That's it for me. See you later. Oh, they also come with these little pouches. Not something to complain about. Sometimes budget knives don't come with pouches at all. And these ones have some good Velcro on them. And belt loop. So, yeah. You can carry it just like that. Why not, right? Klaken is doing some interesting, good stuff in a very, very, very cheap mine went blank. Everything just farted out. I'm going to stop. Budget knives. Low expense. I'll see you later.